Very solid.
Right. No, very much so. And I was worried that I made a cutoff date of November 7th was my last bulb planting event because I wanted to make sure that volunteers weren't digging into icy soil.
Yeah.
However, volunteers still ended up using pickaxes, as you'll see in later pictures as well, just because the soil in a park that is used by so many people and that doesn't traditionally have plantings done in it in great regularity is fairly compacted.
Yeah, yeah. Let's look at some of the groups that were involved in that process.
Right. Okay. So this event would not have happened without the great generosity of any number of people, including a number of individuals came forth and donated. We had a donation drive throughout the months of September and October, and a good number of people gave to the Conservancy volunteer program with the express idea of buying bulbs for the spring. So I would like to thank all of them, as well as a good number of different organizations and corporations came out, and their hard work with the Conservancy volunteers this fall really helped, and their generosity really helped to underwrite this entire program. The folks from Advent Software came out, and they did a fall cleanup and park bench painting with us, and were really generous in their donation. Nokia is another of the companies that came out, and they did a bulb planting in Herder Park in front of a lovely set of 3 park benches. So a couple hundred bulbs will be bursting out in April right in front of these park benches that people will be able to sit on, which will look very nice. Hyatt Regency Cambridge, which we'll see a little bit later on, did a bulb planting in front of their home hotel. Saucony came out. We'll see pictures of them later on as well. Trillium Asset Management, a sustainable investment company in Boston, came out, and they did an event in honor of their recently deceased founder, Joan Bavaria, who was basically considered the founding godmother of socially responsible investing. So she loved flowers, and she thought her coworkers and colleagues thought, what better way?
Well, I need to move you forward here a bit because we want to look at some more pictures of the bulb planting, and then we want to talk about other projects of the Conservancy volunteers.
Sure. So this picture right here shows some of the volunteers from Hyatt Regency Cambridge who came out, and they planted right in front of their hotel, and we ended up planting about 2,600 bulbs, not only with Hyatt, but with a lot of local many kids from MIT and students from Boston College and Bunker Hill Community College. Some of our best volunteers are from local schools. And so the Hyatt folks came out, and they were helped by a bunch of local colleges.
And here we have the people from what company?
So these are the folks from Saucony. They were actually kicked off the whole bulb planting extravaganza this spring. They were the first group out in early October, and they came out for a beautiful, beautiful day and planted probably about 400 bulbs right by the Elliott Bridge in Herder Park in Alston, Brighton. So wonderful volunteers.
All right. And here we have...
Oh, these folks were some of our long-standing volunteers from Vistaprint, which is a local company based out of Lexington, Massachusetts. And they brought probably 20 folks out and planted 1,600 bulbs this spring, and also provided lots of helpful tips like that really helped with future events as well.
Great. I know you brought a whole list of groups, but I think we might want to skip over because you mentioned most of them. I think there's one group that you might want to show here, a group working right on near the Weeks Bridge, it looks like.
So actually that is the Lars Anderson Bridge, believe it or not. It's hard to tell with it so close in the background. So close in the background. But those folks are from the Pi Lambda Phi service fraternity at MIT. MIT's fraternities have come out time and time again for our events, and these guys brought 30 people out on Halloween. It was a really fun event. We ended up having 60 people, and we had Halloween candy for everyone, and we ended up planting 24 400 bulbs right in the area just upstream of the Lars Anderson Bridge,
Yeah.
and across from JFK Park by the river.
Now, so this was just a burst of energy that will turn into a burst of color in the spring, that you undertook in October and early November to plant those bulbs. But you, as the volunteer coordinator, you work out in the parklands all year round, and you brought some pictures of what you do all year round. And so, in a way, what you do is such a great thing for companies to participate in and to come out. So let's look at some of the projects that you do. We have one more picture here of the pickaxe swinging for the bulb planting. So but then let's move into what you're going to do in the winter. Talk to us about the tree pruning.
People are often surprised that we work year-round on the banks of the Charles, but believe it or not, our winter events are some of our more popular events. We end up having a waiting list for most of our tree pruning events because so many people want to come out. And it's really a wonderful, peaceful time to discover the river and spend some time outside. Our events in the winter generally are about an hour shorter than they are in the springtime and summertime, just because it is a little bit colder in these New England winters.
But it's great for when you get cabin fever. It's great to get out.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. And what we do is we have all the tools necessary. We have pole saws and loppers and pruning saws. And at the beginning of each of these events, these students here pictured are MIT students who come out each and every year. I think that was this past winter during a less snowy stretch. But we give a pruning lesson. We supply people with safety glasses, as you could see in that student as well. And it's nice because people actually learn something that they're able to bring back to their yards, mm-hmm. or they learn a bit about how to properly care for trees.
Yeah.
And
what it does, it's not only do people learn how to prune trees, and they do a great job, but it also means that the bike path then doesn't have the branches that hit the runners and the bicyclists. So it's really also for safety and for the health of the trees.
Absolutely. So we have safety and aesthetics, but and the health of the trees. And safety is probably number one. Trees that are along pathways definitely get our number one priority. And this type of work really wouldn't happen without the good-heartedness of our volunteers. In that I think the Department of Conservation and Recreation has 2 full-time arborists for the entire state, which obviously there are a lot of trees in Massachusetts state parks. And so leveraging the goodwill of our volunteers has been really quite necessary to getting this good work done.